Okay, hi guys, it's Alexa here with Kelowna Now. I'm sitting down with Amy Mosset.
Mosset.
Mosset. I knew I was going to screw that up.
No big deal.
I'm going to let it that go. We're here doing another Mindful Conversations. And I thought it would be a great topic to talk about. We're in December. We're all starting to be in that hustle bustle Christmas energy. A lot of us look forward to the holidays.
Yep.
But I think we always forget that there's the other side to Christmas time. So people get stressed out financially, tensions build. So I think we want to hear from Amy and her team how they can help maybe people struggling this holiday season. So, Amy, maybe the first question is, do you have any tips or tricks right now that you tell your clients or your patients on how to manage the stress this holiday season?
Yeah, absolutely. We do a variety of things. Stress looks differently for everybody. A lot of people have deadlines. There's a lot of like incoming tax closing for businesses, just financial pressures of gifts. One of the main issues that I see amongst our clients are understanding what's going to happen, who does what. So, like, if you're in a partnership, usually like the mom buys all the presents and the dad doesn't know what they're getting. Maybe it's, again, those financial stressors and not agreeing. One of the key components would be family, how to divide family, who goes where, when, how, and then the dynamics between in-laws, outlaws, and there's so much disruption and understanding about what the boundaries are. So with my clients, I really like to look at really just setting the stage about what it is important to them. Instead of being people pleasing, to look internally and looking at what the boundaries are financially and respecting those, and what your boundaries are with your families, and again, respecting those, and really just being proactive as opposed to reactive. A lot of people will just do things because it's supposed to be done without actually thinking ahead. So if we can plan ahead, maybe have a code word to get out of a situation. Maybe it's, hey, we're not talking about politics. We're not talking about religion. We're going to set these like ahead of time. Secret Santa is a great way to get around the financial burden, with a set amount. There's lots of little tips and tricks that you can do, but the key here is to look internally first and decide really what your limitations are in all aspects. I encourage people to sit down and actually write them down, because that's a commitment. It also allows you to reflect and think, okay, is that worth it? Is it not worth it? And really just resonate on it before you are reactive to it.
I love that. I've never really thought about that, but actually sitting down, with your partner, or if you're a single parent, and writing down what you want your holiday season to be about and what's most important. Would you recommend even sitting down if you have children, sitting down and talking to them and seeing how they can help out, or um,
Seeing what you're
getting them more involved?
totally seeing what their expectations are a really big deal as well. In my head as a mother, I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to put under the Christmas tree for my kids? And in our family, we try to look at more doing things as opposed to having things. But I think it's really important to have a discussion with your kids. Even driving to school today, my son really shocked me. He's really stressed out about Stewart Park closing and not getting skating in time. And he's like, my dad promised me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, we will go skating. I promise it will be open. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to go skating with his family downtown. That's really quite easy. And it's free.
That's amazing. He's stressed out, these kids.
They're big stress points. But
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that it comes across as stress, but really it's something that kids have been resonating on. And so when you can have maybe make a Christmas bucket list with your kids. We actually had time the other day to sit down and watch Christmas movies.
Amazing.
And we watched ones that we have never seen before, that are not like mainstream ones or just like on Netflix. And we literally, just the four of us, piled on a couch and cuddled and watched these movies. And at the end of the day, my kid was like, well, that was a fabulous day. I'm like, it doesn't take a lot. Usually the expectations that are out there are actually put on ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if my kid has 2 presents or 10 presents, he's actually not going to know the difference.
No. I think it's like that saying, trying to keep up with the Joneses or whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
families.
Yeah.
I think you just made a really great point. You don't have to spend a ton of money to have a good experience. Like, go for a nice Christmas walk in the snow. Um, you can go, like, I love seeing, we run a charity. So having kids, they love to come and wrap presents for other kids,
Mm-hmm.
and it just makes them appreciate more. And then they're also like, wow, like, this feels so good to give back, or excited about Christmas because they know they're helping some other kid who might not get presents that holiday season.
Absolutely. And the same thing goes for like cards for seniors.
Yes.
You know,
Can't
like,
forget about the seniors.
yeah, and my son, he was blessed enough to be able to perform guitar and sing a song to seniors like a few weeks ago. To be honest with you, that put me more in the spirit 2 weeks ago than I feel now, you know, and it's just about surrounding yourself with people, singing songs, you know, doing the things is really what creates that spirit. But understanding as well, it's okay to be stressed, and it's normal to be stressed, and it's normal to experience multitude of feelings throughout this year. This is a really big time to shed some light as well on people's firsts. This can be a first time that maybe you don't have your kids for Christmas because you've separated. You've lost a loved one, whether it be around this time or maybe it's just the first Christmas without them. And it's really, again, about how to honor these moments and how to redefine yourself. But again, being proactive.
Okay, I love that. So, do you think this is a great time? I mean, I wish I was Oprah and I could be like, for Christmas, the whole family's getting therapy
Yeah.
on me. Like, that would be actually, I think that is actually such a great gift
Totally.
to, I mean, you can't really give back unless you're taking care of yourself, or, So, is this a great time to doing self-care or booking an appointment with you? And maybe people don't even realize that they need to have like therapy or a conversation, that they're like, oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, but you're so busy in your day to day, and we're in the Christmas time, but then you blink, 2025 here, and everyone's got the pressure of, I gotta lose 10 pounds, I'm gonna give up drinking. Like, we just constantly put all this stress on us. So, like, would you say right now is a good time to come in and connect with one of you guys, and even like plan your year, book your year in advance, and try and work out some of these, maybe for even next Christmas? Maybe it's the goal to get through the next holiday even.
Totally. And right now, a lot of benefits, people forget about their benefits, and benefits year end typically end on December
Right.
31st. So it's a really great time to immerse yourself in that therapeutic journey and understand really what your goals are. A lot of people will go into 2025 looking for resolutions. I personally hate resolutions. I really like goals. I really like being proactive. And you kept saying the word fine. I'm fine, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But fine is actually the F word in our practice.
I hate that word.
And so it's just really interesting because stereotypically, if you're fine, it's actually not fine. And that's just the word to get by and to get people to leave you alone. The same thing is with good. How you doing? Good. Okay, move along, and it's really communication disruptors. I think this would be a really great opportunity, again, to really start to consider yourself. Consider what's important to you. And we have like a ton of tools that create a journey for you. So even if you're there and you're like, I don't know what to do, you don't need to worry about it, because we do. Yeah. And this is just a wonderful time to start that journey in what seems to be overwhelming, but it's very actually quite peaceful and really making you a priority.
Mm-hmm. Do you see, like with your current patients, customers, do you see right now like a peak of depression, because we're in that seasonal depression, holiday season? Like, would you say people really struggle right now in this winter season over, like, let's say a summer season? Like, do you see that shift?
I think that the seasonal, like the fact that there's no sun outside, people were happier yesterday in the office because it was sunny.
I know, I was.
I was sad because I just want snow. I'm like my kid, I want the experience of snow.
Can't please us all.
Yes, exactly, right? But I think that realistically, depression is depression. And yes, you can have seasonal depression. But I think that really what it boils down to is a lot of people not thinking about themselves, not having boundaries, not having consequences, not considering what's important to them, and really how to navigate life's changes. Life changes, death happens, divorce happens, job change happens, just self-discovery happens all year long.
Yeah. So it's not really just a season. There,
No, it's not just this season, but
Yeah.
there definitely is a point where I think that people are really sometimes wait too long and get to a point that when it's not nice out, they already aren't taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
So it's really just that straw that breaks the camel's back. And I think that that's really the key. And again, just having that financial pressure and stress, and honestly, these really unrealistic expectations of the holidays and being a perfect holiday and
a perfect family, and everything looks different for everyone, and stop
get
comparing.
off social media.
Yeah.
Get off social media this Christmas. If that's a challenge I could give anybody, I would give it to everybody. Because if you can actually put down your phone and be present, you know, maybe make a couple moments to have those pictures, but don't post them.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's just maybe like post them later. But right now, everyone is like posting their Christmas tree, and that's great. Yeah. And I love it. And I do love Christmas. But it is a scenario, again, about comparing and going back to that keeping up with the Joneses. You wouldn't know what the Joneses are doing if they didn't post on social media.
Have social media.
Because neighbors stereotypically don't talk to each other. You know?
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Everybody's super private and like...
But we'll share all our stuff on social media.
It's crazy, you know? And again, that's another point of consideration is... what are you posting on social media? What are you setting, you know? And I don't want to say I hate it because I think it's such an important tool. But I think that sometimes we glamorize things just because we don't want to look less than. And I know about 8 years ago, we were living in a home and we had the biggest tree and we had the most beautiful living room. I worked so hard on it and I took a picture of it. And then I took about 15 steps forward and I turned around and I took a picture of my kitchen and it looked like a bomb had gone off. Because I'm like, this is what's actually posted and this is what actually is really real life, right? Yeah. And so again, just understanding that there's filters. There's filters on stories. There's filters on pictures. And nowadays it's not okay to be real when like, let's actually just start to get real.
Yeah. And know that it's okay if you're feeling the stress of the holidays, or let's talk about maybe mental health and people feeling alone. Like this is a season where if you don't have kids maybe, or you don't have a lot of family, or you've lost a lot of family, like people feel lonely during the holidays.
Totally. I think that it's really important, again, to take priority and look at within yourself about what you find is connection. You know, step outside of your comfort zone, go volunteer, or ask somebody to do something with you. Most people don't ask nowadays. Yeah. Right? And I think that if you can find the strength to step outside yourself, then that's going to be a really important tool and tactic to create that connection. I know that a lot of the time I'll just go downtown and walk around the Christmas lights, go to we have got so many wonderful things in this city. Candy Cane Lane. Oh, so how can you not, you know, free. It's free. It's a donation to the food bank if you're able. You know, there's no expectations. Everybody is happy. Everybody is patient. Everybody's considerate. These are all wonderful things just to be around, right? And that's where I think it's important to have. And it's really interesting because even when we go to Stewart Park, we'll go skating. And I know last year we went and we ran into our neighbors down there. Yeah. We talked more down there at Stewart Park than we did next door, you know? And so it's just lovely people, but we're just so segregated. And so put yourself in those situations to speak, to talk, to connect, to people watch. Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting you say that. I never really thought about it, but yeah, people really keep to themselves. Or I think people think, oh, we're all so busy, like they don't want to talk. I sometimes have the best conversations in line at the grocery store. You know, got nothing else to do.
Totally. I'm a bit of a frequent Starbuckser, I'll be honest. That's my vice. Yeah. And I will go in on purpose and sit down. If I could go to my office and work, I could do that. But sometimes I just choose to work in a coffee shop. Yeah. You know, just sometimes I need that mental break of looking up, looking at people, smiling at people, engaging. The one thing I really try to do, not just at Christmas time, but in general, and I challenge all my clients, is make eye contact and smile. Yeah. You will be shocked at how many people smile back, even just
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. And I know in our house, when I'm driving with my kids, we have a challenge who can get more smiles.
Oh my gosh, that's fun.
It just creates that connection, and it also teaches people the
Mhm.
skills to look at each other's eyes. Try picking up your phone and calling somebody as opposed to texting,
Yes.
because that is a number one thing. Even in dating,
Yeah.
I give rules to my clients. There's no texting. Call.
That is so smart.
And everybody's super uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's kind of like we have to get back into that. You know, we had COVID and all these things happen, and we got really good at isolating ourselves and, you know, stay away from people. But as humans, we need to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how we thrive.
Most people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have the introverted, but I even think that they secretly, once you get them out of their shells a little bit, I mean, they can't do it all the time, you know, but
I think that certain people have people, and I think that a lot of people think that you should have a big circle where that's not necessary.
No.
You know, just a couple people in your world that are your people are important, and really just have that connecting time. People just don't make it a priority because life is so busy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where, again, when you can be proactive in creating a schedule, proactive in planning what you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
you are actually making it a priority. I know the last couple of weeks I haven't gone to the gym, not because I haven't thought about it, but because I actually haven't scheduled it.
Yeah.
You know, if I put it in the schedule, if I put it in my calendar, I am 95% likely to go.
Yeah. Would you say, not putting you on the spot, would you say that, not that you're always a good mom, but do you think that helps in your week with your kids? Like, you might have more patience if you took that time to work out or work out, or like, do you think doing that self-care is so important for just your family and giving back and your energy? And
Yeah, I think that self-care is a really overused term nowadays. I, again, really just like to look internally and think what it is for you to get to a point of peace. A lot of people are searching for happiness, and I know it sounds really negative, but I don't have my clients strive for happiness. I have them strive for peace or for calm.
Okay, I like that. I've never heard of that.
Because if you can be calm, and then you can have these ebbs and flows, and it's not peaks and valleys. It's not really, really happy and really, really sad. It's more a case of really understanding of having, okay, like I'm peaceful, you know, and then when your kids are really loud and you really are frustrated, then it goes down. But then you, again, can recalibrate a lot easier, as opposed to being like, oh, we're going to have so much fun, and oh, sugar crash. Like, you know,
Like, actually, like kids having sugar.
that's exactly it. And it's the same that we do mentally, and we're really unaware. And so, again, I like to shed awareness on our behaviors. And so when, instead of looking at self-care as self-care, because yes, okay, I can go get my nails done, I can go for a massage, I can go for a walk, I can do all these things. But unless I can really find that neutral space to create peace within myself, and really it allows me the opportunity to know when it's somebody else's actions or when it's my actions. You know, maybe I'm tired. Today I'm tired.
Yeah.
I was not my best human form this morning, I'll be honest. You know, and so that's where it's, again, being able to be like, hey, to my husband, can you help? You know, telling my kids, I'm really tired. I need you to go to a different room and be loud. Go to the basement, whatever that looks like. Communicate and really understand, even if it's it's me, it's not them. It's me, it's not them. It's me, it's not them, you know, and really just breathe it out. It's important to understand what it is for you to get to that point of peace, instead of just searching out happiness.
Wow. I've never really thought about it. You've said some really good points today that I'm like, okay, yeah, peace and calm is the you know, not the happy, but that's where we want to be.
It gets you to happy a lot easier.
Or you kind of stay more neutral rather than your, like you said, your big dips.
It allows you the opportunity to navigate your feelings and process your feelings easier, better, more productive, because it's not like I'm so happy and then I'm so sad.
Or
you know, it's like
and
totally, and you're able to like look at a situation and look internally to be like, okay, do I want to react like that? There's no right or wrong feeling. A lot of people are stuck in right and wrong, right? And so that's where I am like, feelings are feelings. How you respond and how you react to it, that's productive or unproductive.
Very interesting. So what kind of, like, let's say someone's listening out there and like, oh my God, I'm feeling stressed out. I need to go talk to Amy. She's made some really good points. She's going to help you find peace and calm. Like, what does general, like, do you guys do I think you guys do online services as well. So like if you're too nervous to come in person and you want to do virtual, but
Hmm.
like can you walk me a little bit about your process and like so someone would just, I don't even know why I need to come see you. Like what's your process?
Yeah, for sure. So we have a multitude of counselors at our office. We're so lucky to
Oh,
have
that's
different
amazing.
personality types, different designations,
Hmm.
because everybody's benefits are different. We try to create a space where it is just comfortable.
Mm.
So, like, you will show up and I will be in slippers and a blanket and a coffee and a fireplace. Like, it is, we try to make it just very calm, chill
Yeah.
at home.
Mm.
And so the process is just simply like we offer online, phone, and in office. Kelowna, Vernon, actually,
Mm.
and Grand Prairie, and
Oh,
so it
wow.
just depends on what type of person you're wanting. And so all of these people are accessible throughout. Maybe not necessarily in office if you're looking at somebody in Vernon or Grand Prairie, but they're able to service you for the most part. And honestly, in private practice, the nice part is you don't need a referral, you don't need to wait,
Yeah.
and we can generally get you in. We strive to get people in within the same week, if not the week after,
Yeah.
because we really expand our hours. So we're open from 7:30 in the morning until 9:30, 10:30 at
Oh,
night,
wow.
five days a week, and then we're also open on weekends now too.
So you're trying to help people who are doing, 9 to 5 or shift work or
Totally. There is really no excuse to not take care of yourself. When you have like benefits, so many people have benefits, and in all honesty, it's a medical expense. A lot of people don't realize that therapy you can write off, very much so, like prescriptions
Yeah.
and massage at the end of the year. Mental health is a priority and should be a priority
for everyone.
for everybody.
So would you say like I don't know, I've gone to a few therapists over the years and sometimes it's good to change up or you have different things you're working on through the stages of your life.
Why do you switch?
I guess it's just different stages of my life. I've also lived in all over places.
Fair.
So I like I don't like virtual. Like I like to be
Yeah.
in your fireplace cozy with
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
Sometimes you have Kleenex, a little snack,
Yeah.
not a snack, but a candy or something.
Oh, we got snacks.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to be in person, but that's just who I am. But would you say that, let's say someone came to you and you guys were in a match.
Yeah.
Do you call that or do you let them call that?
Both.
Okay.
So at the very beginning, so a lot of counseling practices will offer like a free 20-minute consultation. We don't. The reason why is I just truly feel like you're not going to determine whether it's a good fit or not
20 minutes.
in 20 minutes. And like on the phone, yes, that person can know your story, but in all honesty, we do an intake and it's really up to us to be the professionals to get that information, to find out why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. That's not up to you. That's my job.
Yeah.
Right? And we are trained to pull that out from you through conversation. Can't be done in 20 minutes.
No.
And so I often will just tell people, like, look at the profile, really see, some people want mothers if they're a mother, some people don't. Like, some people, like, I know one of my profiles has a dog in it because we have dogs that sometimes come into our office. And they'll be like, oh, like, when is Tucker coming in? Can we come in when Tucker? I'm like, great. I'm just the dog handler. Yeah. Great. But, whatever makes that person feel comfortable. At the very beginning of every session, I will always say, if you don't feel comfortable, do not hide. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I will ask, what do you not feel comfortable about?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm too straight shooter.
Yeah.
Totally okay. I'm going to pass you on to one of the softer humans in our practice. And same thing is, if I don't feel like I don't want to say help you, but maybe there's a situation, maybe I just lost somebody and I have grief myself, and you come in and you're like, I lost my mother and I lost my mother.
And it's just
too close. I'm just going to be very transparent and be like, you know what? I'm just going to pass you on to another human in our office.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of not like dating, but you kind of have to match. You kind of have to, the healing is, definitely, I think, finding that match or someone that you can be open, transparent, raw, real, which we have a hard time doing that in front of people.
Totally. I really feel as well is that if you have I don't want to say a talented therapist, but a versatile therapist, the therapist should be able to meet you, right? Mirror you.
Cool.
And really match your energy, get to know you, build that relationship, build that rapport. It's really quite funny because I've got clients that I've had for a decade now. And like, it's not like they've been coming in every week for a decade, but it's nice to be able to have that opportunity and know their story, that if I don't see them for 4 years, I'm so excited to see them. You know, if I don't see them for 6 months, they don't get in trouble. Like, I'm genuinely excited. And it's just so fun to be able to have that opportunity to work through the journey with them and really understand where they came from. That's why I asked why you switched, because I want to hit you at every stage.
Like, you don't want just like, you know, young 17 Alexa. You want 32 Alexa.
I want it all, you know, and it's so fun to be able to watch the progression. And also, it provides me the opportunity. And I did this with a client the other day. I'm like, do you remember when I saw you 8 years ago, who you were then and who you are now?
Cool.
And have them identify. Oh, it's just the best. It's the best.
And watching people grow. But then sometimes we have moments of, I don't know, weakness is probably not the right term, but then you fall back in that character or that.
It's life.
Right?
It's life. And that's just part of it, right? But the fun part is being able to build that relationship and really just understand the likes, dislikes, the fears, and in all honesty, a lot of my clients and I who have had for a long time, we just joke a lot, you know, like before we head into session, I like come out and I see them and I just like ruffle their feathers a little bit and they ruffle mine, and it's super fun, and people are like, oh, you know, and I just really like to take the pressure and the stigma away from mental health, because everybody has mental health issues. Everyone. Not all the time, you know, grief, mental health issue, anxiety, depression, stress.
Being a woman, hormonal.
Oh, it's so big right now, hormones. At least for me. And it's like, honestly, even time management and figuring out productivity and parenthood, and maybe not being able to be a parent, or maybe not wanting to be a parent and feeling the pressure to want to be a parent. There's so many different aspects to the world. So I always like to tell people, like, even if you feel like you don't have much of anything, I can shed light on certain aspects where you're gonna be like, oh. And it's not to disrupt you. It's not to make you feel less than. It's simply just to shed light and experience on how you can be better.
Well, or it's just dealing with stuff that you think maybe you pushed under the carpet and you didn't even know was bothering you. And then, you know, as a woman, you come back and you're hormonal and everything comes out. Like, it's just different, or you lose someone and something. So it's just keeping yourself peaceful and calm. Okay. Well, I feel like I could sit here and talk all day on topics like this. Do you have any last messages around the holidays for people?
Just really, again, look internally, look at your limits, really respect your limits, and take space for yourself.
Love that. Thank you, Amy, for being in studio. Thanks. And I guess start wishing happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and here we go, 2025.